So with the recent PTR update, we got some interesting new changes to quite a few of the characters. However, because there were just so many getting changes, I'm only going to cover the 4 big ones in my opinion. So first of all, it's the nerf everyone has been begging for, demanding for, raging and debating about on the forums for, the Genji nerf. According to the recent PTR patch notes, Genji's double jump will no longer reset when he wall climbs, and his dash no longer deals damage to Widowmaker's Venom Mine or Junkrat's Steel Trap, and it no longer bypasses the Steel Trap. Furthermore, his Swift Strike no longer interrupts quick melee attacks, and his Dragon Blade ultimate duration has been reduced to 6 seconds from its current 8. This is a huge change for Genji players, both for those who hate them and those who love them. Because with these nerfs, Genji's mobility is no longer nearly as insane as it once was. Before all of this, Genji was often that one hero who in high rank competitive play worked the flanks, spammed the shuriken, and waited until his ultimate was up, often avoiding one-on-one fights that weren't favorable to him. When he did have his ultimate, he always went in with his team, using the Lucio sound barrier for additional health and speed, and even sometimes the Ana ultimate, making him almost invincible and deal even more damage than he did. In quick play games though, Genji was that one hero everyone hated, but for 2 very different reasons. If you had a game with a bad Genji, the team with him hated him because he was useless, because he was being countered so easily, and wouldn't switch even when it was clear the Genji pick wasn't working. On the coin flip, teams facing a good Genji hated him because it seemed no matter what they tried, picking Winston, sticking together, focusing fire, nothing would break this Genji, and he only died due to sheer overextension, but not before wiping at least 3 or 4 of the 6-man team he ultied against. Moving on to Lucio. Lucio's nerf is not nearly as long as Genji's, but no less impactful. Lucio has received a 30% decrease in his speed amp, effectively only increasing his and his teammates' speed by 70% instead of 100%. With Lucio's speed amp, combined with his healing amp as well as his area of effect in both areas, adding to his ability to deal damage and provide a protective health shield to his team with his ultimate, made Lucio an almost must-pick for every game, whether it was competitive or quick play. Even in the pro Overwatch scene, almost no team went without Lucio in any game. The speed boost he provided with his amp and his area of effect healing made him so vital and important to the team that it wasn't a question of if they needed him, it was a must pick. While in my opinion, I doubt this will really affect his pick rate, teams will need to consider if that additional speed is still absolutely necessary for their lineups, as he's still the only support character capable of getting his team to the front line faster, and provide a constant area of effect healing and speed boost. Up next on the block is the 0-2 hero Omnic, Zenyatta. Zenyatta's changes concern his Discord Orb and his Orb of Destruction, or his basic attack. His Discord Orb no longer amplifies the damage the target takes by 50%. Instead, it has been decreased to 30%, effectively making it the same as Mercy's damage boost. As for his Orb of Destruction, the damage output has been increased from its current 40 to 46. What this means is that Zenyatta no longer can solo kill most heroes and eviscerate tanks on his own power, like he used to. Instead, while his damage has been slightly increased, the amount of damage the Discord Orb gives his team means targets will no longer be instant kill, but at the same time, teams receiving the Discord Orb will still have to be very wary of the increased damage output they will receive. Finally, the hero that I personally love playing most, Mercy. Mercy's healing beam has received an increase in healing per second by 20%, and resurrected allies will now be able to move after 2.25 seconds instead of its current 3 seconds. With Zenyatta's rise and Lucio's superb supporting abilities, and even Ana getting a buff to her healing capabilities, Mercy has been left out of the support group as the weakest healer. Her ultimate, though powerful, was nerfed to make it impossible to fully charge up after every teamfight, followed by the fact that when she used it for big reses, up to 3 or 4 man groups, she would be instantly spotted and shot at, and either one of 2 scenarios would play out. Either she would die before getting the res off, or she would die after getting the res off, leaving her team without a primary healer often. Combined with the fact that both Lucio's and Zenyatta's ultimates were easier to gain and worked to prevent teammates dying, especially during enemy ultimates, and even negated certain ultimates, while Mercy's worked around her team dying during enemy ultimates. This meant that people had to choose between either accepting they were going to die and hope their Mercy got her res off properly, or go with the knowledge that provided they had one of their two support ultimates, they did not have to fear most of the enemy ultimates killing them. So with these changes to Mercy, she will have a better chance to survive situations with her team being able to move faster upon being rezzed, and her additional healing buff will mean that she has the highest single target healing output of all the heroes once again. Please keep in mind that these changes are being made on the PTR server and should not in any way be considered Blizzard's final changes for any of these heroes. We could still see more changes along the way in the future. Well, that's it for this first episode of Tactical News. Subscribe and stay tuned for additional news and even debates on my channel. I'll keep you all up to date with tactical knowledge and whatever comes up in the future. Until then, this is Imperator signing off.